Hey, what's up, guys? It's Angry Birds Conspiracy Theorist, or Luna here. So today's story time, in my opinion, is a pretty good one. Before we jump into that, I just want to say thanks for all the interesting intros you guys comment on every video. Yesterday was just full of amazing ones. I can't even say half of them because of how ridiculous some of them were. But yeah, leave a comment of what I should say in my next intro, in my next video, and maybe yours will get picked. But today's story time topic is about a kid I used to be friends with back in high school, ninth grade to be specific. And this kid was a very interesting kid, okay? Now, he was a good dude. Let's just call him John. John was a great guy, all right? Like, no complaints about John. But John also just did not care. He was a very carefree individual in every way, shape, and form. And today's story time is about him being carefree and how it almost got me in trouble as well. So this story time all starts off as a normal day. I woke up. I was dreading waking up because I was so tired. I only slept like 2 hours the night before. I got up, I took a shower, I got dressed, I had breakfast, and I set off on my long journey to school. And by long, I mean 45-minute bus ride. I get to school, I go into school, I sit down in my first period class, and my friend John walks in. Now John, like I said, didn't really care. And he walks over to my table and he sits down and he goes, "Yo, bro, you gotta see what I just bought." And I was like, "What'd you buy?" He goes, "Bro, look at this." And he pulls out his phone and he types up a website and he shows me a shirt that I didn't even know existed. It was a t-shirt with hentai on it. Now, if you don't know what hentai is, I'm not going to explain it out of fear of being demonetized, but let's just say it's adult anime content, to say the least, okay? So he shows me this shirt with like insane hentai on it, and he's like, "Bro, I just bought this." And I'm like, "John, why would you buy that? Why?" He goes, "Because, bro, it's fucking dope." I'm like, "Okay, I mean, to each their own. I wouldn't wear that in public, but I mean, hey man, do you?" He goes, "Yo, I'm gonna wear it to school when it arrives." I'm like, "John, I'm telling you right now, that is not a good idea. If you wear that to school, you're either getting suspended, getting detention, or who knows, like you're getting in trouble if you wear that to school. That's definitely not school clothing." He's like, "Nah, man, like I wear dumb stuff to school all the time. Like this is gonna be fine." I'm like, "Homie, I'm just telling you, like I'm warning you right now, you're probably gonna get detention at least if you wear that." He's like, "Bro, it'll be funny. Like I'll record it and everything. We can put it on YouTube." I'm like, "Homie, I don't think you want that on the internet." And he's like, "Why wouldn't that be on the internet? That's funny. Like, people would laugh at that." And I was like, "Yeah, man, it'd be funny, but like, people would probably be laughing at you, and that will be on the internet forever. Like, once something goes on the internet, it really doesn't come off, especially if it goes viral." And he's like, "Nah, bro, I can handle it. Like, that's awesome." And I'm like, "All right, man." So fast forward a few days later, nothing really happened. He didn't come into school wearing it, and as far as I knew, he just stopped talking about it. So I assumed that he wasn't going to wear it to school because he probably thought about it a little bit more and realized that that's not the smartest idea. But I was so wrong. Fast forward a week later, I wake up just like any other normal day, really early, really tired. I take a shower, I get ready for my day, and I get a text from John, and it says, "Today's the day." And I just immediately think to myself, "Oh no." So I FaceTime him immediately. I'm like, "John, what are you doing?" He's like, "Bro, I'm wearing the shirt to school today." I'm like, "Man, you're gonna get in trouble." He's like, "Bro, it's gonna be worth it. I'm gonna film it." I'm like, "Dude, I don't think it's a good idea." And he's like, "Just trust me on this, Austin." I'm like, "Whatever." So fast forward, I get on the bus, I go to school, I get to my locker, I'm getting my things ready for the day, and I go to first period class. And I sit down, and I get a text from John saying, "About to walk into class now, take your phone out and record this." So I start getting my phone out because he asked me to record it. So I start getting my phone ready. And before I can even open the camera app, he barges in the front door wearing anime pajamas, a hentai t-shirt, and he painted the words "hentai lover" on the t-shirt. The t-shirt did not originally come like that. He painted his own words onto it. And he runs into class, jumps up on my friend's table and goes, "I love hentai." And I'm like, "Oh my fucking, what is going on?" And my teacher starts screaming at him. She's like, "John, get off the table. What are you doing? Go to the main office right now. Like, this is so inappropriate." And John just looks over at me slowly, gives me 2 thumbs up and smiles, and then just runs out the door like an anime character. And my entire class just burst into laughter. Like, everyone was laughing so hard. And my teacher looks at me and yells and goes, "Austin, did you have something to do with this?" And I was like, "No, I had nothing to do with this." And she goes, "Then why do he look at you and give you the thumbs up? Did you guys plan this?" I was like, "No, actually. And if anything, I told him not to do this. So I was trying to stop him." And she goes, "Oh, so you knew?" And I was like, "Yeah, I knew, but I told him not to do it." And she goes, "Go to the main office too." I was like, "Why? I didn't do anything." She goes, "Just go up there." So I go up to the main office and my principal greets me up there. And my principal goes, "Austin, why are you up here?" And I was like, I was told to come up here by my teacher because apparently I have something to do with what happened in the classroom just now, even though I didn't. And my principal goes, well, did you have anything to do with it? I was like, no, I'm telling you the truth. Like, he told me he was going to wear that shirt to class. I told him not to, and he ended up doing 10 times more than what I thought he was going to do. And my principal's like, all right, just stay here for a second. Let me talk to him, and then I'll talk to you. I'm like, okay, sounds good. So he brings John into his office and talks to John for like 30 minutes straight, and John comes out with his head down looking very sad. I can tell he just got some sort of punishment. And then my principal brings me in, and I sit down, and my principal's like, all right, so John told me you had nothing to do with this prank whatsoever, so you're good, you're off the hook. Just please try and get better grades. Don't be late to class anymore. Be a good student, Austin. Have a good one. And I'm like, okay, great, thank you. And I walk out of that door as fast as I can. Now, after I walk out of the main office and start walking back to class, I see John really far down the hallway. So I yell, I'm like, John, hold on. And I run up to him, and he's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, yo, like, what happened? And he looked so sad. Like, I can tell he just got a pretty serious punishment. He goes, I got suspended. And I'm like, holy shit, really? He's like, yeah, man, for 3 days. Now, this shocked me. Like, I didn't think that would lead to suspension. I thought maybe like a week of detention or something. But he got 1 day out of school suspension and 2 days in school suspension. So he was like in a room for 2 days doing homework and shit. So that shocked me. And he's like, yeah, man, like, you were right. It was a bad idea. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, at least you got it on recording though, right? And I was like, about that. He goes, what do you mean about that? I'm like, John, you didn't give me enough time to open up my phone and record you. Like, you just ran in the room after you said you were about to do it. So, like, I couldn't record you. He's like, Austin, you had one job and you couldn't do it. One fucking job. And I'm like, well, you know what? Maybe you shouldn't have done this to begin with because now you're suspended. And he goes, fuck you. And he walks away. Now, it was just friendly banter. We were still friends. I talked to him later that day. We weren't actually mad at each other, but he was a little upset I didn't get it on recording. But maybe he should have waited like 30 more seconds because I didn't have any time to pull my phone out. So yeah, John took his 3-day suspension like a champ, and he came back after that. And after that, he didn't really get in any more trouble. He was pretty much just laying low, trying not to get suspended again because his parents were not very happy with him. But yeah, I will never understand why I have so many friends that are just ridiculously obsessed with hentai. I'll never understand it. Like, he's probably one of 5 friends that I've had that just have an anime obsession and hentai obsession. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with watching anime, okay? That's not what I'm saying. But these friends of mine, they take it to new heights sometimes. But yeah, guys, I thought this story time was just a crazy one and a funny one. I hope you guys did as well. If you enjoyed this story time, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you guys all later. Peace out.
Butterfly on the doors, make them all go. 30K in my face, I still don't show. You talking down when you looking up and I'm like, what's up? You talking down when you looking up and I'm like, what's up? They leave me out for the dead and now they know